Lamine Yamal is the best player in the world right now. There's just no debate.
The best player in the world right now is Lamine Yamal. The decision making in the big moments, he's making it like it's normal. He doesn't see pressure, especially from a kid. Messi wasn't doing what this kid's been doing at 17 and 16 years old.
To get the ball, now he sets off and skips away from Mkhitaryan. Oh, that's brilliant!
16 years old, breaking records at Camp Nou, fearless on the world stage. Lamine Yamal isn't the future, he's already here. At just 15, he became the youngest player to debut for Barcelona's senior team, showcasing skills beyond his age. In a time when Barcelona and Spain needed hope, a teenager reminded the world what magic looks like. This isn't just talent emerging, it's history unfolding. It's the making of a legend.
It's not normal to be like that at 17. It's just stupid, really. Like, I don't even know what I'm watching, what I'm witnessing, but he played like a man possessed. And when I say a man, he's not even a man yet.
Yamal is turning into one of Barcelona's greatest talents right before our eyes. How did this happen? How did someone so young make such a massive impact so quickly? This is how La Masia wonderkid became Barcelona's next greatest. Like many Spanish kids, football was his first love. But for Yamal, it wasn't just a game. It was a natural language. He began playing football in the streets and local parks before joining La Torreta, a small local grassroots club based in the town of La Roca de Valles, near Barcelona. Barca scouts observed Yamal during regional youth matches and tournaments while he was playing for La Torreta. His balance, dribbling, and spatial awareness were far beyond typical kids. After catching attention, Yamal was invited for a trial at Barcelona's Escola, a development school that works as a feeder to La Masia. During the trial, coaches were reportedly stunned by his creativity, confidence, and vision. Recognizing his potential, La Masia wasted no time in bringing him to their youngest development squad. Yamal's professional football development began in 2014, at the age of 7, and Yamal played as though he belonged at the top every time he took the field. Coaches promoted him ahead of schedule, constantly testing him against older, stronger opponents. But it didn't matter. Lamine didn't just survive, he dominated. At the age of 14, Yamal became the youngest ever player to play for Barcelona's under-19s team, winning MVP and top scorer across multiple youth competitions. Fast forward to April 29, 2023, Lamine Yamal made history. He was already training with Barca B by age 15, and even invited to train with the first team. That's when Xavi knew it was time. He ended up being the youngest player to ever make his FC Barcelona La Liga debut at the age of 15 years, 9 months, and 16 days. He came on late in the match against Real Betis, but what he showed in those minutes, composure, confidence, class, it was pure La Masia. Lamine Yamal stepped into the spotlight, unshaken, unafraid. On football's grandest stage, he played with the fearlessness of a veteran and the flair of a prodigy, capturing the hearts of fans. That debut wasn't just the beginning, it was the dawn of a new era for Barcelona, and though officially a B-team player, he never looked back, training and thriving alongside the first team under Xavi's watchful gaze. Heading into the 2023-24 campaign, the name Lamine Yamal was already generating quiet buzz and was impossible to ignore. In pre-season, Xavi Hernandez made his intentions clear. Yamal wasn't just a prospect, he was ready for first-team football. On August 20th, 2023, Lamine Yamal earned his first start for Barcelona, and what followed was nothing short of electrifying. He didn't just play, he dazzled. With 7 fearless dribbles, pinpoint passes, and relentless flair down the wing, Yamal became the heartbeat of Barca's attack. As he walked off to a standing ovation with 5 minutes to go, it was clear to everyone, this wasn't hype, this was history in motion. In his very next start, Yamal delivered again. Named man of the match after igniting 2 goals in a thrilling 4-3 win over Villarreal. And then, on September 19th, he stepped onto one of football's grandest stages, the Champions League. Under the lights of Europe, he made his debut in a 5-0 demolition of Royal Antwerp, becoming the youngest player ever to represent Barcelona in the competition. On October 2nd, Barcelona made their intentions clear, securing Lamine Yamal with a contract until 2026 and a jaw-dropping €1 billion release clause. Just after that, in a tense 2-2 tie with Granada, the young talent returned the favour by scoring his first ever senior goal. And then came the moment every Barcelona player dreams of, his first El Clásico. He went on to debut as a substitute player in a home defeat of 2-1. Yamal wasn't just making noise in Catalonia, he was rewriting history with Spain too. In September 2023, he became the youngest player to ever debut for Spain's senior national team in the European Championship qualifier, and in that same game, he scored a stunning goal against Georgia. He became the youngest player to debut and youngest goalscorer in Spain's history, breaking a record once held by Ansu Fati. Yamal made history in the Supercopa de España semi-final by scoring in a 2-0 victory over Osasuna, and then he went on to play the final 29 minutes against Real Madrid a few days later. However, Barcelona suffered a significant defeat against Real Madrid, losing 4-1. Yamal scored another goal in the Copa del Rey quarter-final matchup against Atletico Bilbao, though Barcelona fell 4-2 after extra time. Yamal's brilliance burned through the defeat. In January 2024, Barcelona's season hit turbulence as the team struggled for consistency and unity. Xavi had little choice but to step down. The team was in 4th place. Morale was low. With Xavi gone, Yamal faced uncertainty. Would the new coach sideline him, reposition him, or worse, stunt his development? In the 2023-24 season, Barcelona's title hopes fell just short, finishing 2nd in La Liga and bowing out of the Champions League in a heartbreaking quarter-final loss to Paris Saint-Germain. But even in defeat, Lamine Yamal left his mark, delivering a crucial assist in the second leg, a lone spark in a 4-1 storm. He ended the season as one of the most talked about names in world football. Yamal had 7 goals and 10 assists in 49 appearances in all competitions for Barcelona. For any teenager, those numbers are elite. But for a 16-year-old, unthinkable. On June 7, 2024, Lamine Yamal was called up to Spain's 26-man squad for Euro 2024. Just 8 days later, he stepped onto the pitch against Croatia, becoming the youngest player to ever feature in the European Championship. He didn't just participate, he lit up the game with daring dribbles, vision beyond his years, and a swagger that made Europe pay attention. Against Croatia, with a precise assist for Dani Carvajal's goal in a dominant 3-0 win, he became the youngest player to ever register an assist at a European Championship. Then in the round of 16 against Georgia, he shattered another record, becoming the youngest to feature in a Euro knockout match, surpassing Jude Bellingham. And as if destiny wasn't already on his side, he added yet another assist in a resounding 4-1 victory. In the quarter-finals against Germany, Yamal struck once more, providing a crucial assist in Spain's 2-1 win, tying a Spanish record with 3 assists in a single European Championship. But it was in the semi-finals where his legend truly soared. When Spain fell behind France 1-0, Yamal stepped up and equalized for Spain with a spectacular curling shot that struck from outside the penalty area. The shot not only secured a 2-1 victory, but was crowned goal of the tournament. In the Euro 2024 final, as Spain triumphed 2-1 over England, Lamine became not just the youngest to ever lift the trophy, but also as the fearless prodigy who set up Spain's opening goal with a moment of brilliance. And in that moment, he wasn't just making history, he was owning the stage. As the final whistle blew, he stood tall as joint holder of the most assists in a single Euro tournament, with 4, and won the Young Player of the Tournament award, an extraordinary feat for a 16-year-old. With his exceptional technical brilliance, Lamine Yamal quickly drew comparisons to Barcelona legend Lionel Messi, a familiar parallel for those who have emerged from La Masia's hallowed ranks. Yet with each daring dribble, Yamal channels the spirit of Neymar. The world has taken notice, with media outlets proclaiming him not just to be the best young footballer on the planet, but for many, the greatest teenage talent to ever play the game. Yes, the comparisons are inevitable. The left foot, the fearlessness, the whispers of Messi in every touch. But make no mistake, Lamine Yamal isn't here to be the next Messi. He's here to be Yamal, a name that echoes not as a shadow of greatness, but as the beginning of a new legend. He doesn't walk in Messi's footsteps, he walks alongside his legacy, carving his own path through defenders and history alike. Enter Hansi Flick. The former Bayern and Germany boss was known for his high pressing, fast transition football, and he saw something in Yamal, not just as a winger, but as a hybrid creator. Then came August 2024. Barcelona enters the new season under pressure following a trophyless year. Questions swirl around the club, but there's one name on every fan's mind: Lamine Yamal. He begins the season with a dazzling performance against Real Sociedad, dribbling past defenders like ghosts, creating chances and assisting Lewandowski for the opening goal of Barca's campaign. Flick moved Yamal infield more often, instead of staying wide. Yamal began operating as an inverted winger and at times as an attacking midfielder, almost a roaming 10 beyond the striker. He started dictating play. His decision-making matured overnight. He was no longer just dribbling past defenders. He was controlling the tempo, switching play, pressing aggressively, and even tracking back. In the very next match against Atletico Bilbao, Yamal found the net with the composure of a veteran, securing another 2-1 victory. But he didn't stop there. 1 week later, he struck again, his second goal of the season. At that moment, he became the youngest Barca player in history to score in consecutive La Liga matches. And by October, he had already had 5 assists and 3 goals. His first ever Champions League goal came against Monaco. In that moment, he became the second youngest scorer in the competition's history, just behind his teammate Ansu Fati. Then Yamal fired home Barcelona's third in a stunning 4-0 triumph over Real Madrid. Then came January, the first shot at silverware and revenge. During the semi-finals, Yamal dominated Athletic Bilbao. Against Real Madrid in the final, after an early strike from Mbappe, Barcelona unleashed a ruthless masterclass. Lamine, Lewandowski, Rafinha, and Boldi striking before half-time to crush Real Madrid 5-2 and reclaim their first trophy in over a year with brilliance. In Europe, Barcelona's journey was commendable. A standout 4-1 win over Bayern Munich highlighted their prowess. However, their Champions League run ended agonizingly in the semi-finals. However, it felt like Yamal versus Inter, one boy against 11 men. With poise, blistering pace, and surgical precision, he danced through defenses like a prodigy out of myth. Even Simone Inzaghi admitted that he's a once-in-50-years talent. The Copa del Rey final was an iconic El Clasico thriller in the 116th minute of extra time. With tension thick and rivals locked in battle, Jules Koundé rose above the chaos to strike the decisive blow. A game-winning goal that sealed a 3-2 triumph over the Spanish Giants and delivered their 32nd title in unforgettable fashion. They threw on fresh legs, switched systems. Nothing worked. Yamal was in a world of his own. In one of the most electrifying clásicos in La Liga history, Barcelona rose from the chaos with glory in their grasp. A 7-point lead over Real Madrid and the title within reach. And of course, Lamine Yamal was at the heart of it all, bending a sublime equalizer that sent the Estadio Olímpic into rapture. A 2-0 victory over Espanyol guaranteed the Spanish league title, which was Barcelona's 28th La Liga triumph. With a domestic treble under the belt, the future looks promising. Lamine Yamal has committed his future to the club, and under Flick's continued leadership, Barcelona aimed to reclaim European supremacy. Yamal ended the 2024-25 season with 9 goals and 13 assists in La Liga, plus 5 goals and 3 assists in the Champions League in just 13 appearances. He was directly involved in over 30 goals across all competitions, and this at just 17. But more than numbers, it was how he did it. Flick's structure gave Yamal freedom. He was allowed to drift, to improvise, to express. In that instant, he became Europe's most electrifying offensive threat. And so, as the curtain falls on a season to remember, Lamine Yamal stands not just as a rising star, but as the beacon of a new Barcelona era. With every touch, every goal, every fearless run, he reminded the world of what his club stands for. Brilliance born from belief. He didn't just help Barca win, he helped them dream again. And in that dream, the future isn't just bright, it wears the number 19.